Hello, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. It is Saturday as we play in May, mid May 2025. And because it's Saturday, that means it's time for Star Wars Saturdays, which is an ongoing anthology campaign where I take different tabletop role playing games, usually of the small press, indie, or OSR variety, and I hack, reskin, or just say, hey, it's in Star Wars now. We are playing a game that is the closest to me violating my rule of none of these are official Star Wars RPGs, in that we're playing Hyperspace D6 from Matt Click. Hyperspace D6 is a game that uses the Open D6 license, which used back and is the core system of the original Star Wars role-playing game from the late 80s. The Star Wars role-playing game license is passed to several different hands, but this was the original, the Grand Poobah, the one that came from Weston Games and created a lot of canon for Star Wars lore. So I love it. And Hyperspace D6, thank you very much. Hyperspace D6 is a like sub 30 page hack of the original Star Wars. It's interoperable with the Star Wars RPG, but very flexible, meaning I can run old Star Wars modules, which is exactly what I'm doing. We are running it in the timeline post the death of Emperor Palpatine. He fell into a hole, into a Death Star that blew up. Therefore, he's gone, truly and well and truly dead, and will never come back again. Because all folks who drop into holes in Star Wars never come back. That's just the way that it works in Star Wars, he said with a wry grin. And this is not set in our core Star Wars settings. It is set in the Tapani Sector, which came out in the 90s. It is Weston Games' own creation of a place in the Star Wars universe with noble houses and also the Empire. Now, because we're post the death of Palpatine, the New Republic is rising up to wrest control of the galaxy from the Empire, but it hasn't quite done the job here in the Tapani sector. Yes, that's right. I wanted to have more stormtroopers. Even though I'm progressing the timeline, who doesn't love a stormtrooper or two every once in a while? Now, we have a. I'm going to interoperably or interchangeably use terms like Rebel and New Republic, hewing towards Rebel. So we have a Rebel crew. We are down a couple of members. Will is unable to continue with the series. He's got life stuff going on. And speaking of life stuff, Adesh also had some stuff to take care of today. So we are rolling with three. And let's go around the horn in our character keeper order to remind folks of the characters. So we're going to start from the far right hand side of the character keeper. If you could introduce yourself, Greg, and tell us just a wee bit about your character.
Hi, I'm Greg. I use he, him pronouns. I had to double check to make sure I had done a name change. I am playing Shan Hetzert. Shan is a technician, a possible, sometime slicer from the planet we have just left, the planet Argovia. He is being hunted by the mining protectorate that runs that. Kind of involved with House Rena as they are sort of the mining house. But definitely, in this rebel thing because he's not super legal. Last scene, he was playing with the data crystal that our next character had provided him.
Ooh. And so our next character in the middle. Okay, if you could introduce yourself, tell
Yeah.
us about your character.
I'm playing Siren Mand, a Zygerian who was actually a former slave. They do have some luck on their side, though, and are a bit of a sneaky guy. They use he, they pronouns. They are the scoundrel. And they're pretty good at, climbing in rafters and nicking things off of unsuspecting individuals like crystals and files. And then they just hand them off to other people because, you do something with this.
Last but not least is Stephen.
Hi, my name is Steven. My pronouns are he, him. I'm playing Jody, whose pronouns are she, her. Also J0D1. Jody is a free droid who is all about droids' rights, trying to free droids whenever she can. Um, and she's a little bit uh talky and negotiating, kind of thing, bargaining kind of thing, and a little bit sneaky and dexterous.
Very cool. Some time has passed since your successful mission dealing with the planet of Argovia. You have received scant reports, you're not the intelligence folks, that Shan's reprogramming of the sensor net array has been effective and useful to allow the continued operations in the Rena province. When we open up, you guys are all in a New Republic or Rebel base. If you check the Maps tab, I have unhidden the Obus base. The Obus base is located on the planet, surprise, surprise, of Obus, which is a volcanic planet in that way that every Star Wars planet is one biome. This one is the volcano planet. Obus is a place, volcanic wasteland with a searing temperatures, a type 2 atmosphere, meaning that it is breath mask suggested. The hydrosphere is arid, the gravity is heavy, the terrain is mountainous with volcanoes and some scattered rocky plains. This particular Obus base was built here because despite it being a volcanic planet, there are not a great number of mineable. I knew someone would say that, and I almost edited it to not look like that, but it was a really cool picture otherwise, and therefore the testicle looking things uh, just seemed like too much for me to try to edit out. But yes, that's the first thing I thought when I opened it up was like, hey, this is phallic. This map is quite phallic, so yeah, let's just own it. There are no penises in Star Wars that we know of. We've never seen one. We've just seen the results of what we think, but these
Children have been born, so something
we
has
just see
to.
but I mean that's secondhand evidence.
That is true.
Is it
That is true.
admissible in an imperial court?
So
That's
what
what
I'm
I want to
hearing
know,
is
Kale.
Disney, we need a Star Wars movie with full frontal to prove that penises exist in Star Wars.
If it didn't happen in Andor, so if it's not going to happen there, it's not going to happen
Oh
in
wait, hold on, hold on. We just got something. We just got something in the side chat.
the most explicit photo of all time.
Oh
That's
my
very
God.
that's very silly. Okay, so um
Just for
yes,
those who are watching, all this is a trading card where a part of C3PO's costume fell off, and the picture hit just at the right time, so it looked very
it,
phallic.
it looks
Yeah.
yeah, kind of
It
like
looks like you got a big dick.
C
Google it and you'll see. Yeah.
C3 peacock is what I think we saw. Oh my goodness. Maybe we should have kept talking pre-game. Um, I should have shown you the map ahead of time, and so we could all get all the sillies out. Because I knew it. I was like, should I edit this thing? I'm like, no, it's a pretty cool map. It'll be fine. We'll work past it. And now we're working past it. So you guys have been on Obus base for a week or so. Um, this is the first place you've been stationed since you finished up the Argovia planet mission. There is a problem. The internal, oh, let me make myself, the facilities have lost environmental control capabilities. It has gotten really crazy hot. So as we open up, of course, Jody, I'm imagining that there could be some sensors or circuits inside you that may be sensitive to that, but you don't sweat, so you are probably faring better. Sai, how is 110 to 115 degree temperature affecting Sai's? How does Sai react to that? How's he doing?
So I think actually he's kind of loving it. Like very like cat in a sunspot kind of vibes. Like it is definitely making him a bit more lethargic, but it's also just like, oh, I don't have to find the warm spot. Everywhere is the warm spot. There is no sunspot. It's just a sunspot.
Uh,
But that does leave him kind of lethargic and a little sleepy.
what about Shan? You're from a mining, rainy, drizzly
Yeah,
environment.
I imagine that, actual mining, it gets quite cold down there. Shan's not really used to high heat. Um, and so he's lost that, this big jacket that he's wearing. Um, it's now like around his waist. It's just got like
Got a
a
wife beater on
white
that's just
beater on.
covered in
Yeah.
sweat. Very
And
aliens. Nice.
and being, sort of the technically minded sort of, repair person, probably when he's here, he's probably arguing with one of the power droids about, no, you don't understand. The heat exchangers over there. We have to power on this conduit so that we can get more of the cryo. And and he's a little exasperated because it's so hot.
Nice. I mean, not nice. That's very sad. I'm so sorry that you're upset by the terrible weather. So, um, at the point that we begin, Shan, you're dealing with a power droid and having an argument. Jody, perhaps you're helping out because one of the officers asks you to escort one of the tech crews. They're starting to pull people into a tighter area because the environmental controls have failed to the point where they're going to start some low grade evacuation of less essential personnel. There is a lot of activity at the hangar because the X Wings are being evacuated effectively. And Shan, tell us a little bit about the commander of this base. Do they consider you a valuable resource because of your previous successes, or are they irritated by your expertise?
Oh, like us as a team?
More
Um,
like you specifically, but yeah, as a
More
team
like me
as well.
specifically, I think a little irritated, in that, I think the quick thinking by our team, on Argovia, and sort of not exactly just blowing it up. Like that's the kind of commander he was like, just blow it up, just get rid of it. And now we've sort of frustrated him, and maybe there's superiors above him who are her. I didn't look. Do we have a?
We do not. We are
Okay.
designing on the fly. You've said him twice, so I guess it's a male. That sounds fun.
Okay. Male presenting. So the yeah, the we've caused more paperwork because now people are like, well, maybe we don't have to completely, we could really utilize this team in a different way. And yeah. And also I haven't got the AC on. So being part of that team and not succeeding yet, it's probably not making me any fans.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Um, and I'll ask our Zygerian friend, Sai, um, this commander, male presenting commander who seems frustrated by your team, are they a human or are they a non-human individual?
They're a non-human.
Cool. Okay. Cool. Um, what is their general opinion of you and Zygerians?
Um, I think their general opinion of Zygerians is not great. I don't know if they've actually gotten to know Psy enough to get past that kind of general bias against, Zygerians. to particularly have an opinion on Psy themselves. Granted, it is not helpful that Psy is taking a lot of naps.
Yeah, I would imagine that you're not contributing to help a lot. Yeah, okay. And then, Jody, what is one aspect of protocols regarding droids that this commander has put in place that you suggested? Something that has made you feel kind of worthwhile. Like, oh, yeah, I could work with this.
Um, Usually one of the typical Imperial protocols is to send droids into the hotter areas. However, that damages their wiring and batteries. And the protocol that's been in place here is to, while the droids still have to go in and help repair things, they are given more frequent breaks to cool down so that it won't actually damage them.
Nice. And was that was your suggestion, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Cool.
Because typical protocol is just to send in and get it repaired and get them back out. They're a little bit like disposable workers.
Yeah, they are. As we've seen in lots of Star Wars, the droids get the short shrift, you know? So, um, as we open up, Shan, you are working on repairs when you overhear a conversation between a few there's a lot of activity. They're trying to get everything off of the base into space that they can, but a lot of the personnel can't be carried. These are starfighters, X-wings. These are not transport carriers. There is a call out to try to get a larger freighter in here to carry some people, but they're still coordinating the valuable military assets first. You overhear a conversation with a pair of the officers who, one of them, now we will define, let's say it's Tyree, because that sounds fun. The person who recruited you guys. Tyree comes in from from the hangars and he says, "We got it." And you overhear him telling the base commander, who isn't a big fan of you. He says, "We found it. What we need, those 30 Soros sub KL 45 coolant hydro valves, they're just a system over. We just got to go there, procure them, and get back here in the next few hours before we have meltdown." And the commander says, "We don't have time for that. We need to secure everything that we can salvage. Sending people off on this mission is not my priority."
Um,
What do you do?
so Shan like just puts down his tools. Uh, I'll go.
Tyree looks up. "Yeah, Shan can go. Shan, grab your team." The
What
commander
does the
says,
commander
the
say?
commander says, "I thought you were working on repairing that console."
If we can get 30 of those valves, I don't have to do all of these repairs. I can just replace.
He looks at you. He says, "Well, I don't have any ship to spare." And then he
Uh,
just goes on about his day. Like that answers the question. What do you do?
what ships are here, right? There's X-wings.
Hmm. There are
Um,
there are X-wings. There are air speeders and land speeders, um, and that's about it.
oh, Shan is no pilot. Um, are any of us a pilot? I
Nope,
think we lost our pilot.
you did.
Um, mm, I'll go up to Tyree. Um, I need a pilot. I need to get out of here. We can't lose this base.
I agree. I agree. If we can get those valves,
Um, I'll step up during this conversation and say, I think there's some damaged speeders that the reason they've been left behind is because they weren't certain that they were actually spaceworthy. And I think we can repair them and take on this mission so it's no loss.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again? Rich
Yeah,
didn't catch it.
I think we can take and repair some of the speeders that were broken down. That's why they haven't left yet. Repair those speeders so it's no loss to the rest of the rebels. You know, they weren't going to take them anyway. So if we fix them up and go on this mission, then it's not costing them anything.
That's a possibility. Unfortunately, like speeders are don't have a hyperdrive unit in them, and uh, so let's just say that Jody, you and
Yeah.
Sai have been pulled into this conversation, either overcom or physically, and Tyree explains where you need to go is a system over. You would need it's 2 hours travel if you have a hyperdrive. Uh, I believe Mac is in system, isn't she? And he's referring to the captain of the Vosentoss, who is the biggest fan of your crew.
Uh, I guess I don't know who who would sh who would she have a good opinion of at this point?
Possibly Sai, because didn't
Yeah.
you help her with the Imperials?
Um,
I know you were sneaking around while we
Yeah,
were
I
on the
think
ship.
Sai mostly snuck around and eavesdropped, and
and freed her droids.
yeah,
And
Oh,
definitely not
yeah.
me, so maybe it's you, Sean.
Okay.
Tyree reads the expressions and says, "Okay, maybe that isn't the best option."
Or maybe it's you, Tyree?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. There's an X-wing out there. If you three can cram into it, I mean, Jody, you're an astromech. They're not astromech droid sized. They're not standard size, but it's an Imperial supply depot. It's a depot station. He pulls up a little design. You hear an announcement over the speakers. They're asking all non-essential personnel to come back to the command center where they're able to focus what environmentals they have. And you also hear that their communications, they're going to bring that offline soon. He says, this is where we you can procure the Soro Sub KL45 coolant hydro valves. It's a depot station, one hop over. Thing is, if you arrive on in an X-wing, that thing's
Yeah.
protected by a few ties. I don't recommend it.
I guess our captain is the captain what was it Tozen Cap what oh my goodness.
Captain Mac.
Mac.
Captain Mac. That should be so easy to remember.
It should be, but Tozen Boss threw you off. Vos and Toss, you got me
Suppose it
mixed up.
toss, see? Captain Mac may be our best shot then. I'll try to raise her on comms.
Okay. Cool. So let's have you make a roll. It is going to be moderate because they are shutting down comms. You're going to have to bounce this off of some satellites and do something a little tricky and techy.
All right. Is this his computers?
I feel like it's computers. It sounds like operating a slice in computer systems to do that because I don't think we have a use comms. So I think that is
No.
probably the best way to go.
Um,
Okay.
I'm going to suggest so Jody will help, and I'm going to
Good.
suggest that we do that by going through a one of the vehicles because they're shutting down the base comms, but going through vehicles, we might be able to get a message out.
I like it. I'm rolling 66. I don't think I need a character point for this.
Okay.
Um,
And you don't forget you're going to do that red die as part of the die
yep,
total.
it is. It's in there. All right. Oh, that's a success. Not by a 10.
Hey, success, and you got a
I
five
got a
on the
5, which
destiny
I
die.
think it only makes only a 6 or a 1 makes a difference there, right?
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's simple in that aspect. We'll see if we like it later. Great. So you head out to one of the speeders. Shane, you're getting drenched in sweat. Jody, no big deal. Sigh, nice. Maybe you lay on the hood of the speeder. Bounce off of a satellite, and you're able to ping, and you hear not Captain Mac, but Rick Weevil. Um, because that's a great last name. That feels Star Warsy to me. The crew member who chatted with you guys before, the one with the reddish mohawk.
Yeah, Rick's not so bad.
Rick's not so
Uh,
bad. He hates you guys less than Mac. No, she doesn't hate. He doesn't hate Mac. He doesn't hate you guys at all. He doesn't hate anybody. Hey, Shan. Wow. Uh, I heard you guys were evacuating that place.
we are. I need to pull in a favor.
Oh, okay. Who do you want me to reach out to that owes you a
No,
favor?
no, no, no. Any, I need a favor for you. I'll owe you.
Oh, wow, this sounds great. What is it?
We need a lift. And we might be rerouting you a little bit. We've got a bit of a situation here, and need to pick up some hot items one system over.
Okay. Well, if anyone wants to help, they can, but you're gonna have to convince Rick to go out of his way. I think you were trying to bargain, negotiate, and haggle here.
Oh, yeah, I'm so
All
good at
bad at this.
that.
It's so you guys are terrible. Why is Jody, who says in the character intro, good at chatting with people, not doing this? I don't know, but I love it. I love
Oh,
this
because
plan.
Jody burned her bridges with with
Oh, that's true.
But
Mac's
not with
crew.
Rick.
You
I
can jump
remember
in
True.
here.
I don't remember Rick being all that, I don't know. If you want me to make the bargain roll, I'll make the bargain
It's all
roll.
good. You guys, whoever you want,
Okay.
I'm a fan of this.
Why
Three.
don't you do it? I'll help. And the way that I
Okay.
help is I communicate with ASP 1 and 2, the droids that were there. While we're communicating, I'll, put a carrier wave on top to make sure to see how things are going and to see if they can't help out.
Okay. Oh boy. And what's the difficulty here? Moderate?
It is moderate. He's got to
Okay.
talk to his boss. I think Wix, ah, it's about messed up the name. Rick's opinion of droid riots is, yeah, it makes sense. Um, but that's about as much effort as he's put into it.
Right, right. Okay. I'm gonna burn 3 character points to add to this roll. Really need this favor. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're helping, Jody?
Yes.
6. Oh, oh, oh. Oh no. How do you remove a die?
Click on it. Click on the roll.
Oh, okay. Hopefully remove the correct die. Let's find out. Otherwise, it's my leftmost die. Okay, it's 3. That's an 18.
Okay, an 18 does exceed your target number. Rick disappears for a little bit off the comms and comes back and says, "All right, we're on our way. Is there any way you guys could get out? No, it's fine. It's fine. We're on our way. Be there in a jiff." And unfortunately, because you're using this method, that is going to cost you an hour. So we have a clock on this. It is a 9-hour clock. So, or a 9 tick clock effectively, 1 hour gone. I'll just put that in here.
And what's the outcome if that gets all the way down? The ship,
Yeah,
the base is unrepairable.
yes, it is
Oh,
irreparable. They'd have to basically rebuild it. Um, it will be slag, and also the personnel, the non-essential personnel, the people who cannot be evacuated are dead. That is our 9 hour clock.
So during this hour, we're not just going to sit around. We're going to prep for getting into this Imperial facility. Look at the plans that Tyree provided. Set up equipment, anything like that. So we'll just add a tag rather than having to actually do the prep now. While we're there, we'll say this is something we prepped before. That sound okay, Rich?
Yeah, this is great.
Okay.
So then, since you're doing a little bit of research, let's have you roll on that. That sounds fun and smart. I think you're going on. It could be search. It also could be some computers if you wanted to default to your technical. But we'll call it a. It's an imperial facility.
Okay.
So let's say get trying to gather details on it. Let's call this a 15, another moderate roll.
Okay. Um, so I will roll that. I think I'm going to use search, which should be 5 dice. I have one die that's another color, and let's roll and see what that looks like. Oh, that's 25.
Nice.
And
And
my other die is a 4, so it's not a 6 or a 1.
okay. Because I looked at the leftmost and it was a 6. I'm like, oh, okay. So you pull up the following information. That is a quite a good roll.
Ooh,
The
does it
first,
meet the by 10?
it does.
Ooh, okay, great.
So the first thing is, oh, somebody like close the thing that I just opened. First of all, it's the Imperial Operations Platform 773. I've unhid in the maps tab so you could take a look at it. And I'm about to uh, update it with a newer picture because you got so well. So, currently color coded are the two areas that are most likely where, and I will put in underneath the map, you need at least 30 Soro sub KL 45 coolant hydro valves. Here are some bits of information that you gain with your excellent slicing and data access. First off, this Imperial Operations Platform 773 is located, if you look in the Tapani sector, you guys are currently in the Rhiannon sector of the Malantha province. It's in Shindra, so it's a hop over. It's one system over. This is a depot. I actually have a picture of it that I thought was pretty cool. It's actually from the module, so let me show you that. So there's a pic of it on file, and then you have access to the map as well. This depot has 4 TIE fighters. It also has, as you can see on the map itself, it does have a light gunnery on the station itself. Actually, it's not specifically on there, but it does have light gunnery. It is a fuel depot station and a resupply. But here's the extra little bit that you pick up, Jody. There is so this D Space Imperial depot station has the 4 TIE fighters in as patrol. But along with that, you come to find out that there is an Imperial scouting that is ongoing for this sector. So this system, there are some Imperial probe droids that have been deployed into the Rhiannon system. And you're the first to become aware of that.
And the Rhiannon system is one over
It's
from
where you
us.
guys, sorry,
Oh,
you're in the Rhiannon system. So
okay.
Obos is in the Rhiannon system. There are some Imperial probe droids that have entered this system deployed by a medium class frigate. There seems
Okay.
to be an Imperial, like they're sticking their nose into this system. Obos would be the lowest priority because it's considered uninhabitable,
I see.
which it soon will be.
So during that hour, while Captain Maz is coming, I turn to Sean and I'm Shan, and I say, um, so it turns out from the research that I've been able to do that there are some probe droids that are headed to this sector anyway. Um, so abandoning the we don't have enough time to get everyone off, so but it might be in the long-term plans that we have to abandon the space anyway.
And go where?
Well, someplace that the Imperials aren't searching for us, because right now they sent probe droids into this sector, and it's just a matter of time until they find us. I mean, we could try your reprogramming trick that you did, at the last beacon, but they're eventually going to find out that these 30 valves are missing. Um, and if we blow up the place, they're going to rebuild it and keep the search. So I'm not sure what we can do.
Sigh.
Sai is definitely asleep. Like Sai is like above y'all,
Sigh.
just straight up like sleeping.
Sigh.
Yeah, you poke Sai and Sai sort of blinks and does like the cat thing, like turns over, rolls once or twice. And it's like, hmm?
So it turns out they sent probe droids here. They just
Hmm?
haven't found us yet. And, you know, I don't know how to handle both issues. We can steal the valves that we need, and
I can steal.
so we can steal the valves that we need, and we could send, but how do we handle the probe droids that are going to find us eventually? And I just had a thought. If we appear to be an Imperial ship, then of course we could requisition the valves. We could refuel. This is a refueling station. And if we were high enough, we could order the probe droids somewhere else. But I don't know how to pull that off.
Or Shan, can you reprogram them?
It might be fresh out of miracles, but we could try.
Shan reprograms things. But Sai will sort of shrug and be like, I don't
Oh,
think I'm good for the things hunting us, unless you want me to try to break them. But
Maybe this isn't
great
as
lifting
difficult.
things.
Maybe this isn't as difficult as I'm making it. If we destroy some of the probe droids and make it rather than reprogram them, we can reprogram them if you think you can do it, Sean. But uh, if we destroy them as they come to our planet, they'll think it's too inhospitable that no one could ever live here, and they would leave.
I can
So
shoot
we
them.
would just have to make it look like lava or something like that destroyed them. If a droid can't survive, certainly a human can't.
So we
it'd
shoot
be
them down
hard.
and we dunk them in lava.
Yeah. It's going to be difficult to make the Vosentoss look like an Imperial ship.
Well, we have to approach somehow.
Yeah. I say we go for well, it's a refueling station. We need to fuel. Mayday, Mayday.
And pay them, right?
We'll
Money
pay them.
talks.
We'll get Sai on board. Sai will handle the valves. Uh, Jody, you can handle the talking.
There you
I'll see
go.
what I can do to handle the droids.
Okay. I think you don't have to completely reprogram the droids. You could just increase their internal temperature
Mm.
sensors so that it looks even more inhospitable than believed.
So
I'll do that.
what is the plan that you guys want to pursue? The Vosentoss arrives in short order.
Uh, I think, oh, we're gonna pretend to have a fuel leak that we need addressed.
So
And
your plan is to take the Vosentoss towards the fuel depot and then pretend that you have
That
a fuel leak
have
in
an
order to get on
emergency.
board.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
and pay them off so that we can take some fuel. But while that happens, Sai will go steal the valves needed, requisition the valves needed. Um, and then uh Shan will reprogram the prodoids while I talk.
This sounds like a pretty cool plan. Okay, sweet. So the Vosentoss arrives. She brings it down on the spaceport, well, the landing pad that's set up here. There are a few X-wings. All the X-wings have left within this hour. Everything that they can get off of Obus, they have gotten off of Obus. There are a number of people who are sheltering in place in the command center, and they should be okay for a few hours. Well, 8 hours, in fact, before things are have gotten irreparable and too bad. Captain Mac brings you guys aboard. She does not have time for messing around because this is some serious business. When you arrive and get on board, she is already pulling the ship off of out of the hangar and back in to the air. Rick greets you guys. Wow, it's crazy hot down there. Is everybody okay? And he's handing off some like glasses of water.
No, not everyone's okay.
No,
Um,
we need to get those valves.
Okay. Yeah. Captain Mac says she will get you guys there, but it's on you to figure out how to handle it.
so this is what we figured out, and I go through our plan
Cool. And you
with
you share it with May Rick pulls you in to head up to the cockpit and you share the plan with Captain Mac. She says, "Well, okay. Um I do not want to get shot out of space. I can't afford it. So, force be with you or whatever." So, you guys are in space for 2 hours. I increase 3 hours have passed.
Hmm.
while we do that, I think we should doctor the ship so it looks like it's damaged. It's got a fuel leak, right?
Okay, let's see how our repair guy.
Yeah, I'll take charge on that. We had that reactor leak thing that we worked on, so I'm a little familiar with the ship's systems. Um, And
Remind me, because it's been a second. How does one help in this?
Oh, you say how you're helping,
Hmm.
and then they get an extra die.
Okay, yeah. I think with my dexterity, just yeah, like I can reach into any place or get to any spot that you need like something done to give the appearance or to like make that part seem off.
I like that. Yeah, there's a lot of that aligns with something in the recent Andor that requires a lot of fine manipulation when you're dealing with fuel. Um, yeah, so it's a lot of like, okay, now turn that no, halfway. Um, all right, so that
With
means
this one
this is
here, that one there. No, no, no,
a
no, no.
note. 5D for vehicles, I would think.
I think vehicles is absolutely what you're modifying. It
Okay,
sounds
so
great.
5 plus a 6. What's our difficulty?
Ooh, great question. So here's how this difficulty will work. You tell me how good you want it to look. What you're setting is the effective difficulty for a casual Imperial observer to see that it is bogus or real.
Ooh, I gotcha. Um, I think I'm aiming for difficult. It's going to be hard for them to tell whether this is real. The idea is we come out of hyperspace, maybe we're tumbling even a little bit, and immediately we'll hit the SOS. All right,
And just so
so
we know, as far as your character knows,
yeah,
this is a success.
yes, right. 60. One. Here we go. It's a success. And nothing on
Nice.
nothing on the destiny die. Yeah.
Hey, I have decided the alien species of the base commander
Oh.
is a Herglick. Um,
Oh. Just a giant herdlick.
yeah, so he's in terrible mood, right? Because this is the worst thing that could possibly happen to him.
So I think with Sai helping, I'm like, okay. And I've got like a data pad counting down to when we're gonna jump out of hyperspace. And Jessica like, okay, go. And Sai opens the valve. We like blow a ton of fuel out one side, and we start tumbling. Hold
Awesome.
on.
That's awesome. So you guys, this is amazing. I love that. I'm really curious how Sai is handling this uh, ruse.
In what way? Like the part they're playing or how they're doing
Yeah,
it?
what part are you playing in this?
I mean, well, like so when you say the ruse or like the actual, so I think it is. I think he's crawled up into like a space where he can adjust things, and he's got like the very fine depth grip to know just like literally like only move an inch. And we can see his little like bean pads like very delicately on like dials and things like that, and like waiting for the moment and hitting like the exact precision. Like he's the kind of person like where I don't know if you've ever seen the videos, but sometimes they'll go to like woodcraft shops or things like that, and they'll or like a hair salon, and they'll be like, show me 6 inches, and they like don't you can't see the measuring tape, and they pull. He's someone who could pull 6 inches. Like he immediately knows like what measurements are just by feel and touch and things like that.
That's
And
awesome.
so it's very precise and not an issue.
Very cool. Over the comms, you guys have the comms open as you come in. You're hurtling. She looks damaged, and you hear a bored voice in a with a heavy core world accent. Approaching vessel. What is your business in the area?
I'm going to reply. Um, I have recorded Captain Mac, so I reply in her voice.
Okay, cool.
Um, so it doesn't sound like a droid. and I reply back, Mayday, Mayday, we have a fuel leak, um, and we're losing fuel. We need repairs. We can pay.
Oh, the weekend pay just lowered your difficulty number. That is wise. So it was gonna be difficult. You've lowered it to a moderate with the weekend pay. So let us see how you can pull that off.
Um, so I think that's bargaining.
That feels right to me.
Yeah. And this is important. I'm going to toss in a character point as well. That'll give me 7 dice. Um, 4, 5. That'll give me 6 dice. Okay. Um, and I have an off-color one for the Destiny die.
Oh,
And
yay!
I think I'm going to roll that. You said it's moderate?
It is moderate. You need a 15.
And I got a 6 on the Destiny die.
Awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Yes. Okay. Okay. Cool. So you, as Captain Mac, report the distress call, say that we can pay. There's a moment, and then you hear, um, Mr. Sergeant Linus Mosk, I'm head of security, sending 2 ties to escort you in. And
We appreciate it. Have your ties stay on this side of the ship. The fuel leak is on the other side. That way they won't get damaged. Thank you very much.
and by the way, because you have exceeded the 15 with your 25, you can make a choice. You can choose an extra effect based on this situation.
Um, let's see. I think I'll take definite and undeniable control.
Nice.
How does that look? I think the way that that looks is um I don't so I think these guys, number one, have been on this base for a long time. So anything um being able to see other people or anything like that is going to be really good for them. And number two, basically it's sort of like shore leave for them. And number
Hmm.
two, they don't get paid nearly enough. They can barely eke by. So any extra coin that we provide to them, or even food or something like that, is going to be again like shore leave.
Nice. I like it. Cool. So uh, the ties come out. They don't have tow cables, but they're able to um, escort you guys in. As the Vosentoss isn't actually disabled, so you limp along and make your way to where you can airlock connect using a umbilical tunnel. And soon enough, the what is the guise? I mean, you guys could just go as yourselves, right? You have not tried to pass yourself off as Imperials quite yet. So, have you done anything to change your appearance, or do I just assume you look the way you look in your character pics?
So I think I still have the fake ID from the last job. I don't think I had an ID. I had an ident code or something like that. So I think it would be me, taking off my uh cape and putting on the little Imperial symbol again,
Right,
or something
smart.
like that. Just to, I've got cover.
Might as well take advantage of it. What about Shan?
So Shan uh is gonna like hang with the asp droids, be like, I'm just I service the asp droids, and just be as boring as possible. And hope that they can like help Sai move equipment back and forth.
Yeah, they get paid enough. The
Do
ASP
we
droids, they're fine with this.
is Sai even gonna be visible to them? What's
I
Yeah.
don't think so. I think Sai is playing Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Or you didn't even see me at all, actually. He is sticking to small corners and shadows and beneath things and over and under and just they don't know he's here. No, thank you.
Um, wow. So if Jody's just a protocol droid, Shane's trying to look like a techie, and Sai is skulking. Who's the person that Sergeant Mosk greets? Who like have you convinced
It needs to
Captain
be Captain
Mac?
Mac. Yeah,
Okay, because you
yeah.
did the voice of Cap. So Mac's like, I didn't really sign up to go into an Imperial facility, but okay.
You're not pretending at all. You have a fuel leak. We need to get fuel. Just keep them on that. It'll be all smooth sailing from here.
So door opens up. Shane, you're there with the two ASP droids. Jody, you're right beside Captain Mac. She says, I'm gonna pretend you're my assistant, okay, Jody? And Sergeant Linus Mosk is there with two of his subordinates. They're both privates. They are in Imperial gear, but it's obviously secondhand Imperial gear. Mosk is a heavy set guy. Like he doesn't really fit into the armor, uh, the cuirass, the breastplate that he's wearing, but he wears it with pride. And he is quite obsequious with Captain Mac. And um, I think I'd like to see if you want to, Shan and Jody, extricate yourself from them, but he is going to offer her Captain Mac. He seems quite impressed by her. The opportunity to you guys enter main airlock A, and he recommends her coming with him to the common area where he can provide her with some food and a place to rest. And she isn't going to disagree with that idea because path of least resistance and make the Imperials happy.
So Jody's going to stick with Captain Ass
Mac.
Mac. Thank you.
Mac the knife. Okay. Trying to come up with ways to help you remember.
Yep.
Cool. Yes. Mac. Like mac and cheese. Okay. Anyway, so Jody, you head into the common area. It is on the map. It's near the core. This is a ship that rotates in order to give gravity for the station. Your ship, the Vosentas, is connected on a lower section. If you remember the picture, you're on the hab level there on deck one. Um, I'd like to see Sai how you are because there's a light amount of security here. Um, about a squad who are half on, half off, meaning there's six squaddies of the depot sec who are on duty at any one time. So I'm going to say that this is unfortunately for them easy for Sai to skulk about a bit.
Yeah. So an easy is a 10?
It
Right?
is.
Okay. So let's see, I've got 4d6. I feel pretty good with that. I don't think I need to spend or do anything else. Uh, yeah, all right. I will designate one die to be a different color to be my destiny die. Mm,
Fun. Picking another die is time consuming, but kind of fun.
16 and a 2 on the different color dice.
Okay. Good thing it was not moderate. You would have squeaked by, but with a 16 on an easy, you can make your way easily into like the doors. Mosk is so impressed by Captain Mac and also the two squad mates with him. Their eyes are kind of totally on her. Maybe this may be the first human woman they've seen who they don't have to work with all the time in a while. So you've got it easy. Before the doors even close, you just slide in and you can head to either of the designated storage areas. You are near main airlock A, so the two blue areas there.
Okay, so I'm near the two blue areas. And if I recall correctly, uh, storage there should have
Correct.
some of the stuff. Yeah, he's going right in. He's just like slip, slip, slink.
Cool.
I'm gonna start looking for the pieces we need to fix.
All right. And you guys, during your 3 hours that have passed, have you are aware of um, what the
I got a
coolant
picture
hydro
book.
valves look like? Yeah, you got a
I got a
picture,
picture
you got
book.
it memorized. Yeah, you know the exact measurement because that's your skill set. Let's cut to Shan. So Jody's stuck going into the common area. Common area has vending machines. You see a couple of the depot sec guys are off duty playing some weird dominoes looking game. What is it called, Greg?
Oh no, I had it open. It's
Oh,
like
I'm so sorry.
Riena or something. Yeah, it starts with an R. I think Shan is like, so we're attached to A. I think Shan is functioning mostly as a lookout for Sai's efforts. I'm positioned kind of just inside that first ring there, right outside the lounge, and he's probably like smoking a death stick or something, and just kind of looking like he's happy to get off the ship. And hoping that there's nobody tries to get back into the airlock while Sai is moving the stuff around.
Ooh, cool. I like that. So let's call that you effectively helping Sai.
Yeah.
Jody, what is your, by the way, Stephen, you just barely beat me to getting the link on Rianza. Just barely. Like I went to drop it in and it popped right there, and I'm like, oh, foiled. Steven's faster with the internet than I am. Anyway, so what is the plan for Jody? You can tell Shan's just keeping an eye on things to try to run covert. What do you want to do, Jody?
So I think my position in this plan. So I think that uh, Sai's getting the vowels. Sean's gonna work on the pro droids. I'm going to try and talk everything with the commander, with the Sergeant Linus, and work with the captain. So if anything goes south, I can explain it away, or anything like that through the captain. We can explain if anything's found, or cover up any problems and say, "Oh, that was a leak," or yeah, and maybe get some information about what's going on here.
Ooh, cool. That second part is interesting to me.
Okay.
Um, let's. I feel like this is more computers than it is like search to me. Um, and I'm sorry, I think search because it's perception is usually like physical search, and if you're trying to delve into data to get information, it probably should be a computer's role. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Though also, oh, and it's interesting. But if you're operating systems to scan and search, is mechanical. The mechanical technical thing in Star Wars is the Star Wars RPG always been a thing where sometimes I'm like, wait, is it this or is it that? Um, so you want to find out what's going on with this depot station, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Cool. Okay. Let's call it a difficult role because you're basically slicing in to find out in their security system, which is not simple.
Um, okay, so I am, let's see, that's a computers. I'm going to spend a couple of character points
Ooh.
to get additional dice. Oops. Oh, I was at 3 dice. Spent, okay. Um, and I think that's it. Let me make sure I've added that up right. One, two, three, four, five. Okay. I'm gonna roll that. Oh, I
Where,
squeaked by.
why five?
So I have three in technical, and then I spent
Yeah.
2 character points.
Yep.
Oh, you spent two character points. So you can spend
Two.
multiple character
You
points?
can. You can spin
Okay,
as
that's good to
many as
know.
you want. Yeah. Sorry it wasn't clear, but yeah, you can spin multiple character points if you really
Okay.
care about a role. That is so smart that you spit that extra character point. You would have blown it without that.
Yeah,
That's
it was just
fantastic.
squeaking by.
And it looks like your because it clicked away from me really fast, but I don't
Oh,
see
but
any
yeah,
ones or
the extra
sixes, so
dice wasn't. Yeah.
I think it was a four. Cool. Here's what you find. Jody, the logs for this fuel depot station are um, accessible to you. And for the last 6 months, sorry, I just saw a reaction to something
No, go
exciting.
ahead, please.
For the last 6 months, pretty humdrum. However, um, 4 days ago, they received a communication um, to ratchet down that there is a new shipment of fuel that will be coming their way. And the expectation is that this system will have a significantly increased presence, imperial presence, as House Melantha has that is where you guys are. You're in the Melantha province. House Melantha has officially signed a declaration of allegiance to the new empire as it exists in the Tapani space, and that they have appointed a new Moff to handle the this particular system, the Shindra system.
While I'm in the system, um, is it okay for me to? I'm gonna remove 30 valves from the inventory list.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Let's cut to Sai. You peered around. You found the crates. They're labeled. You read Arabesh, I assume, um, and you were able to find. Actually, there are 60 different coolant valves, hydro valves. Sorry.
Mhm.
You also find that someone's little stash of particular snacks is like hidden away down here near the hydro valves. Like you can see that everything else is a little dirty. And there's this little clean area where they slide it out, and it's a little lock box. It's got some of their candied snacks that they probably keep away from everyone else.
What kind of snack is it? What is the flavor profile?
Oh, that's a good point. It would be very important to you. It is. This is a person who is not a sweet, they're a savory, a fan of savory foods. So it's like a savory, crunchy.
Those are going in size pockets.
Okay,
Those are size snacks now.
nice.
So you said there's 60 of them. Is there any differentiation in quality?
Ooh, let's say that one is significantly older than the other crate of them.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go for the crate that is newer, the better newer parts. But he's also, this is a general storage facility. I think he's gonna take a minute and look around and see if there's anything interesting that he could that could be like that he could take or that could be useful to the Alliance or the rebels to have or
All right. Well, let's see you give me a search roll. We'll call this easy.
Shan is going to I'm gonna help. Shan has taken his droid interface and now he's like positioned himself at the door and he's interfacing with one of the droid interfaces at the door and like trying to loop the video of as Sai is moving around in the cargo space so that they don't see this in the security cameras.
Okay. So it sounds like you're doing something not directly in relation to Psy, correct? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to buy Sai some time.
Okay, cool. So
So,
you are trying to help. Okay.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Some reason it didn't click for me, so I wanted to make sure I was clear. Okay. Again, easy roll a 10 to search around, find some goodies, because this is relatively well organized. Other than the little snack cake thing. But there's got to be some stuff you can find. So let's see.
might be something interesting here. 17.
Nice. And what was on your destiny
A
die? A
2.
two. Oh man. It's good. It's good. Okay. Cool. Um, what you find, goodies that you find in this particular storage facility.
Oh,
Um,
I'll put real quick asterisks if I can. He is looking for goodies, Rebel Alliance, yes, but he's also looking particularly for something that might make Captain Mac happy.
oh, smart. That's pretty good. Because Mac is fairly happy with you guys. You Sorry, I'm just trying to contextually think about goodies that could be here. And if folks have suggestion ideas, I am open to them. But um, you can find there are a few crates of blast tech armor. It's for backups for the depot security folks. It's not stormtrooper armor because the depot security aren't stormtroopers. They're just Imperial troopers. You also can find a few extra blaster rifles and blaster pistols. So it looks like they have set up an armory here in this particular storage room. Any other ideas or suggestions? Otherwise, I'm just going to stick with their. This is effectively their armory because this place is not built to be anything other than a fuel depot.
So
What would be
oh,
interesting? Oh, go for it, Stephen.
no, you first.
No, I was gonna say what I'm trying to think because what do you think Captain Mac likes? Like I was gonna say, like what interests Captain Mac?
Ah,
So I was going to suggest another thing that could be here is code cylinders that are blank. So they don't have codes programmed on them, but they're the cylinders themselves. They're the Imperial cylinders.
I like that. Let's say that there are four blank Imperial code cylinders. I'm throwing this stuff down on the area where Steven is. So I just four blank Imperial code cylinders, three blaster pistols, 10 blaster rifles, six armored vests. Things that Mac might like.
I think something that Mac might like would be like an opportunity, right, for her freighter. So I think there's perhaps some some goods here that were seized by this station from some other ship. Um, and they're, it's something that the Empire would find illicit. But the rest of us would be like, no, that's no big deal. So maybe it's just like foodstuffs or something. Um, but there's a high profit margin on them.
Like
Nice.
Ron.
Yeah.
You cut off Kay. Like what?
Oh, I was gonna say it's like saffron or vanilla or something like actual vanilla beans, like
Yeah, well, let's find a rare Star Wars spice.
rare Star Wars spice.
Well, spice is drugs. That would definitely be illicit, but um,
Whatchamacallit, Captain Max secretly a foodie.
That could be fun. Humanize her a little bit. She seems like she's pretty mean to you guys.
It's okay, I'm about to make friends.
It's true. Making friends is good. Did you find anything, Greg?
I'm looking for some. Ooh, well, Felucian kefta and hummus. I don't know. This is something that they served at Star Wars Edge. Um, yeah, space
Illusion
beans.
Kefta.
That is usually like a ball of meat and or processed vegetables.
Isn't that kofta?
Kafta,
Kafta. Well,
maybe?
there's kafta
Maybe.
and kefta. Like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah, they're similar. But yes, either way.
Meatballs. Frozen meatballs.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's
So,
that's
so yeah.
that's
So I
amusing.
think, okay, Sai would look at this list of items, see what's around him. Obviously, he's taking the 30 newer pieces of the whatchamacallit, ba, 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 of the the Sorosub coolants valves. Uh, he will take the Imperial scrolls, and he will take the food, and he will take 4 armor vests. Uh, I don't think. Do we need rifles? I mean, we pretty much have. We all have rifles, right? I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't think he sees a unless there's anything special about these rifles. If they're just regular rifles, I mean, man, we have rifles. So,
Cool.
yeah, so yeah, he will leave the rifles alone. He will take 4 of the vests. He will take the codex, and he will take all of the meatballs and the 30 newer of the Sora subs.
All right.
Loki and meatballs.
For some reason, I'm just imagining we went to IKEA recently, so I'm imagining the like Swedish meatballs.
Yeah.
That's fun. Sweet. How do you communicate, Sai? How do you communicate back? And what's the plan to get this? Because you're gonna have to go through the doors, and you are a sneaky person, so you know even Imperial facility opening those airlock doors are gonna someone will be aware. So what's the plan to extricate?
Uh, I think once Sai's got everything loaded down, he'll turn to Shan and say, "Block signal, no ping."
Do my best. Um, and Shan is going to try to open the airlock on the other side of the security station
Okay.
to
So
cause some panic.
excellent. So you're trying to open the other side
Yeah.
first to get folks to go there before you open the egress for side to get back to your ship. Okay. I think that is going to be a moderate roll, but if you roll well enough, um, then no alarms whatsoever will go off. Yeah.
Or it just adds to it. Like an alarm's already going off, so why would the alarm can't go off more? Like,
Well, a
True.
tracker to Shan, right?
Yeah. So we'll call it moderate to open the doors, but very not very difficult. Difficult to make sure that the other set of doors aren't noted by the
can I try to help by like timing it so they like it opens like half a second like after the other one, so it's like the noises are already being made, like
Yeah.
they've already started the other one, so they wouldn't know, alarm can only go off once essentially. And if they've
Yeah,
already
it's only
moved
one of
away.
them. Yeah,
There's only one alarm sound. Only one alarm sound. It doesn't get higher or different for the different places.
That's
Different
true.
person. Alarm name.
There's no double klaxons. I like
yeah.
it.
We have only ever heard the one Imperial klaxon. So, um, let's do. So that's computers,
Yes.
right? Yep. Okay. So 5D,
+1.
plus one for help. I think that'll be enough. There we go. Keep wanting to hit and roll. That is just barely enough, but it's enough.
Okay. So we hear the klaxon of the Imperial. By the way, it's a baseball thing, and I have to slide in a baseball thing in Star Wars. I'm not sure if you are aware or care, but when the New York Yankees are playing at home, and the New York Yankees, if a pitcher has two strikes against a batter, and they will play the Imperial Klaxons to basically let you know that this guy's about to strike out. It is hilarious.
How
And
is that legal?
I don't know. It's New York. They figure it out later.
Shh,
Yankees can get
don't
away
tell
with pretty much
Disney.
anything.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe they kick a few bucks to Lucas. And anyway, it happens so routinely that I get excited about the Imperial Klaxon, and I also love that it lays into that the New York Yankees used to be known as the Evil Empire. Now that's the Los Angeles Dodgers
Uh,
because they are a literal $1 billion team. Anyway,
wow.
back to Star Wars stuff. Klaxon goes off. Um, Inside Jody and Shan in the little common area, Sergeant Mosk, like he has this little walkie-talkie thing that he's barking out the orders. Get out there, check it out. Excuse me, Captain Mac. And he gets up and he waddles his way out of the common room. He's got to go check on what's going on. So it's the most excitement he's gotten in a while. And then with the crate side, it takes a couple of passes, but you
Can
slide
I
through the
try
door.
to speed it up with my agility or steal?
You're good. You're you're
Oh, okay.
you're agile and good at stealing. You guys set up enough. I was just narrating. It takes a
Oh,
couple
okay. Okay.
of trips. I wasn't making it harder for you because you guys aced this difficult roll. So you get things into the umbilical cord. You grab the second set of crates, and then the door closes with none of them the wiser. And you and Rick finish carrying things in because the load lifter droids are inside with Shan. Right? Uh, so
I
you,
think Sai's gonna do something
oh, what's he gonna
Sai-ish
do?
though.
Okay, what's that?
He's slipping back in after the stuff's been put out. He wants to go into the air vents, or maybe not the air vents, but he like through the tunnels, and he wants to go to the other storage room on the red side.
Huh.
The one
Okay.
where I just opened all the airlocks to?
Well, I thought you did it does the other side, but it doesn't have to. Is it the storage room specifically, or was
I
it
guess
just?
maybe not the storage rooms.
Yeah, you
No.
did the
Yeah.
auxiliary life support. That's where all it opened up.
No, I think it was main airlock B. It was what you opened to try to.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But I'm
I
gonna
think
try to
that,
go through like the upwards thing. So like not just like walking about in the hallways, but like through the literal like quote unquote air vents. So I drop right into storage. So I'm like
Hmm.
above
Okay.
inside a compact part of the system that like pushes airflow or something like that, or like oxygen.
Okay. Cool. So you, Jody actually would be the easiest to communicate with. Um, Rick sends you and the captain a message. Hey, we've got the stuff on board. Um, Sai went back in.
And so I'm gonna send Shy and Shan a message. Good work on phase one. Now phase two of um setting up the probe droids. Um, that's you know, thanks for your help, Sai. Yeah.
How
Thanks.
many? How many? Do I know? If we don't know this, we don't know this. How many people are on this station? Like, how many
On
Imperials
this
operate
station,
this station? Yes.
this station has 12 security, one sergeant, and then a non-military staff of about 15 people. It's very,
Oh,
very
yeah.
small.
Okay. But still too much for all just us. Um. Okay. Phase two, huh? Uh. Shan's gonna start making his way towards docking control.
Okay. So you head out. Captain Mac's going to give you a little bit of, well, actually, she doesn't have to distract Sergeant Moss because he's dealing with dressing down whoever is responsible for. Why did this go off? So yeah, you can snake your way over towards docking control, um, slice the door open, and there's a person there at docking control who's checking over everything. They're wearing one of the big helmets, the big like kind of Death Star weird super round bowl helmet things. And what do you do?
Everything okay? I heard an alarm.
This is not a military person. They're wearing a helmet, so they turn around, don't recognize you. Are you from the freighter ship?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What happened?
With your freighter? I don't know.
No, the alarm. It's because it.
Yeah. He's like, I'm trying to get it off. Somebody tripped it. It's actually nothing physical went off, I think. I think somebody's in the system. I just need to let the commander know.
I'm gonna step into the room
Okay.
if they'll let me.
They're concentrating on like sitting down at the keyboard to try to get a message out to the commander that they think that someone has infiltrated the system. They haven't quite put together that you are the person who's done it.
Okay. Um, I'll get closer, and as it looks like it's getting close, I'm gonna grab him and knock him out into the console. Just boom.
Oh, amazing. I think he is very distracted. So, again, human. Um, we'll call this a moderate roll to clock him without causing any problems. He's not armed. He's not a
Okay.
combatant, but he could maybe flip an alarm if there's a problem, but somebody didn't knock him out well enough.
All right. So this is brawl, which I think I'm okay at.
Yeah.
If that's 3D, I will throw a character point in there to make it 4D.
Okay. That's statistically
Can
smart.
Sai make some noises in the ventilation so he's like really looking away or distracted?
I don't think we
It's
should have
okay.
Sai being an omnipresent being in the entirety of the station. So
He's
I'm
he's
gonna
he's
say
moving the
no. You're
walls.
not aware of this
No,
going
you're
on.
good.
I definitely see Sai though, like there's like a blip on his little thing, like, oh God, going to the other one. Boom.
Yeah, and I saw something like one of the cleaning droids in the vents. No, mentioned
Oh,
that
that's
there's an
not so
extra amount of
great.
hair follicles from non-human being.
That's a 7 with a 1 on the Destiny die.
Oh my goodness. That is delightful. Yeah, you grab him by the back of the head and slam his helmet forward to knock him out. But it does, the helmet protects him for a moment, and he reaches out and he hits the red button, and the klaxons start to go off. And looking at time, I think that is exactly where we end things with
Ah.
another alarm going off with Jody right there by Captain Mac, with Sai somewhere up in the vents, and that is where we end our particular session. I'll give everybody a character point for what you for infiltrating this place, and a second character point for successfully retrieving the valves. But another hour has passed, so you're now at 4 hours past. I'm mostly saying that for my notes for when we pick up next session.
And it will
So,
take at least 2 hours to get back.
yeah,
So we really only have three left.
that is right. That is right. Cool. I need to take like a 2 minute bio break before we do stars and wishes. So I'm going to pause here. Excellent. I hope everybody marked your 2 character points that you earned. We are
Yes.
going to. Oh, okay. Let's talk about our wishes. We start with wishes so we can end with stars.
I'll go.
Cool.
This is both a wish and me attempting to warn Rich. I very much decided that thievery is part of this character. I don't know if there's any kind of random Star Wars storage agenda or like item lists generator, but that kind of thing might be handy, or just to keep in mind because Sai's gonna be stealing things and looking for interesting, cool things to steal for either particular people he runs into and likes or wants to get on the good side of, or for the Rebel Alliance in general. Uh, so that is a wish is fun, interesting things for Sai to steal. The other wish is I do eventually want to. This is like more of a like long-term wish. Uh, Deal with the people who enslaved him. Like I want to see what is a Zygerian who enslaved another Zygerian. And like what does that look like? Why? Like play into that sort of political structure a bit.
Okay. I'll do what I can. Cool.
Um, I, I would like a deck plan for the Vosen toss.
Yeah, I think that's now become a thing that we'll need.
Uh,
That's our ship.
but yes.
I guess so.
We don't own it, but it's ours.
We just tell the captain what to do.
That's funny.
Bribe
Keep
them
that
with
in mind.
meatballs.
Yeah, it's TASS, not TOSS. In case someone was confused. I almost wrote TOSS, and I thought, no, that's not right. Deck plans for Vosentoss. Anything else?
No, I'm looking forward to seeing how Cola joins us. Um, and what Cola has been doing on the ship. Great. Do we have Andish next week?
We do.
Okay.
Okay. Steven, any wishes?
I can't really think of any. More of the same. This was fantastic.
You want last with wishes? You get to go first with stars. Do you have any stars, Steven?
Yeah, this is a really good session. I really liked this scenario. Let's things are going bad at base. We have to go fix it. It brings in a good feeling of, the jeopardy that the rebels are in. Um, I really liked, you know, I liked a lot of the scenarios that we ended up in because it let all of us shine. I like the way that,
Mm-hmm.
um, well, I think I mentioned before, I've got a sticker on my water bottle that says bad rolls make good characters. And so, seeing we were rolling really well there for a while, and
And
then
then
Shan
get
smashed
pushing it.
somebody in the head, and that was it. Yep. And that was like 3 1s that rolled on 4 dice, I think. So,
That was impressive.
yeah. And then Sai just sneaking around and finding the stuff real easy and heading back and was like, I want more. I'm gonna go back for more.
I've
Cool.
gotten the important things. Now I need to find what other goodies exist.
Yeah.
Greg, what about you? Any stars?
Yeah, no, a star for Kay for leaning into. Oh, we've completed the mission. What else do they have? Yeah, I liked that, and then I liked Jody as the social character.
That is neat.
Manipulating and and being present for the conversation, but steering it around to find out more information. Um, Look forward to that, and hopefully we'll all be able to get out of here alive. Um, yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Thank you so much. And then we'll end it with you, Kay. Any stars left?
Definitely, yeah. Star to femme fatale Jody. I absolutely love it. Like, it's so good. And especially it's interesting with her agenda, and I'm excited to see the juxtaposition of being the social character, but also someone with a very political stance, and how those two things will intercede with each other. Like, what happens if they were at this event and that, the guy that was hitting on Captain Mac was like, "Oh yeah, and droids are garbage." Like, so just like to see how, yeah, Jody does that as a star for Femme Fatale. Jody, star Greg for your voice work when Shan was trying to be like, I'm just, I just fix charge these two droids. I'm not someone educated or smart or knows systems or anything like that. And a star to Rich for indulging my literal cat burglary.
Now that I know that's what you're going for, I like it less, but okay.
I will add one more star to you, Rich, for the base captain and creating somebody who doesn't really like that we're around and is kind of at odds. Like it's the rebellion, but yeah, we all have to answer to somebody, and I don't like you very much. So
I'm excited to gift her meatballs.
Uh,
Um, I will add on to a wish, which was, here's a list of items. I found on Wikipedia a list of equivalent to real objects, and I put that in the chat. They have like a magic 8 ball. There's everything in here.
it's crazy. Yes. Um, I love that list.
What
Uh,
is a magic 8 ball considered in Star Wars? I'm gonna look that up now.
Hit the link and you'll
Eye of
see it. Yeah.
Mesra. Yo.
It's pretty cool.
Anyway, thanks.
Excellent. Thank you all so much. This was fun. We will bring this session to a close and we'll finish it up next week.
What about your stars and wishes?
My wish is more to get 10 sessions of hyperspace. Stars, uh, I'm excited I guess I'm excited to see you circle back to Planet Obus, and will you save it? The clock is ticking, and I'm curious if things will work out your way. Star, I thought it was an interesting conversation when you guys realized, oh wait, there's already Imperial notice here. Should we just blow this mission off entirely? I was like, wow, that makes logical sense. I wonder how this is gonna go. You guys talked yourselves into it, so I'm like, okay, cool.
this module from the '80s did not account for it.
Logic.
I will tell you that the module's insertion point is different from what I did. I want to have you guys on the base, and as things are going wrong, the module assumes you get a message from the base asking for help. And I'm like, well, if you're on the base, I think you'll have, and that's why I wanted to develop the commander just a little bit with you. I don't know, it just felt more you care about this base is what was hoping to establish versus it's just another mission with faceless volcano planet thing, but it also meant that it was more like direct. Here's the mission you've gotten, go here, get that, bring it here. And it was definitely not direct the way that we played it out, which is fun. It allows you guys to have your own personalities. My concern is finding that good mix of you being able to play your character and do the talking bit, um, while also like running a coherent mission and like fulfilling the goals of helping the rebellion and trying to find a good mix of that personal character stories while keeping in the mission structure continuing forward. It's an interesting juggling. Um, I am rediscovering things as a GM while I run this for you guys, and also realizing deficiencies I have because, mission structure
Oh, you're
isn't my
doing
normal style.
you're doing just fine, Rich.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
Well, cool. With that, we will bring session recording to a close. Thank you all.